Hey everyone, it's me Joji, and today we're covering a Pokemon that is getting some high placements and just came off a win at a special event. And of course, I am talking about Terapagos EX. This is the newest card from Pokemon's latest set, Stellar Crown. And just like the card, it is a stellar performance for it so far in its beginning tournaments. I believe in Dorkman it placed 9th place and 2nd place in Joinville, and now 1st place in the special event in Lima. So Terapagos EX is definitely making a splash. It's not really a water type, but technically it is every type in the game all at once is what Stellar is. Anyways, it is making a definite splash in the format, and we're going to cover a version of it that I played on stream before all these events. Actually, I believe it was after Dortmund and Joinville, but before the Lima first placement event. So it's going to be slightly different from that, and I've seen a lot of variations on this Terapagos EX deck, especially in the trainer cards. So, and then a bit of variation in the Pokemon. So take this as an optional list that you want to try out, but there is a bunch of different ways you can play this deck. So starting off with this list, of course, Terapagos EX, the main Pokemon of this deck. Unified Beatdown does 30 times the amount of Pokemon on your bench, and because of cards like Area Zero Underdepths, you can put up to 8 Pokemon onto your bench. So that 30 times can go up to 240 damage if you're not using something like a Double Turbo Energy. But in our case, we are going to be using that, so we're only going to be hitting for 220, which is still a good amount of damage, all things considering, especially since we're going to be using things like Dusclops and Dusknoir to help us hit higher damage. And to help us with survivability, we're going to be running 2 Bouffalants. Now, I've seen lists run this and others not run it. It is, again, a bit of a preference for myself because I do like the survivability aspect of it. You will be taking 30 less damage on your Terapagos EX, essentially making this a 290 HP Pokemon. I've even seen lists that run also the Bouffalant and Bravery Charm, so that's an extra 50 on top of the 290. It is a crazy amount of HP that you can get onto this Terapagos EX in a lot of ways. But let me go back a bit. We are forgetting, of course, this draw engine in the form of Noctowl and its Jewel Seeker ability. So we're going to be running a 3-3 line of Noctowl Hoothoot to help us. And of course, always remember, you can only play this card. Well, you can play it anytime you like as long as you have the Hoothoot to evolve it from. But you have to use this for the ability, and the ability requires you to have a Terra Pokemon on the field. I have made the mistake countless times in my practice games, and I know a lot of people have done the same thing. It will mess your rhythm up if you don't get this correctly done. Always remember to have a Terra Pokemon when you're playing Noctowl. Anyways, going on, we have our 2-1-2 line for Dusclops and Dusknoir. I mean, obviously Duskull, but these are your 2 main extra damage. On top of your 220 you're going to be doing with Unified Beatdown. So that 220 turns into 270, and then instead of 220, it turns into 350. So this is what you're going to use to knock out something like a Charizard EX or a Dragapult EX. Of course, you can 2-shot it with Unified Beatdown, but taking the knockout off an active Dragapult or a Charizard EX with a Dusknoir or maybe a Dusclops, if you get the numbers there somehow, is a better option, because then they have to bench something else up, and then you can knock whatever else they put up with a Terapagos EX. Now, to help us put a lot of our colorless Pokemon into the field, we of course are using 2 Fan Rotoms, which you can only use Fan Call on your first turn. Then we have a 1-1 line of Pidgeot EX. I've found that Pidgeot a lot of people doubted this in the very beginning, that this was going to be a very impactful card, and as we've seen in this format, it has been one of the most impactful cards. I mean, albeit as opposed to maybe, I don't know, Nest Ball, But even Nestball, I think, existed before the Pidgeot EX. But this is one of the best cards to come out of the Scarlet and Violet era. And this being a colorless Pokemon works really well with the Fan Rotom being able to grab this Pidgey. Now, of course, we do run one more colorless Pokemon. It is a Bloodmoon Ursaluna. This 260 does turn into 320 because of Bouffalant, so keep that in mind. And again, if you want to run this with Bravery Charms, you can up that even more. And since we are running double turbo energies, you can attach one, and if they have 3 knockouts, you can attack for only 2 on that DTE, but you're doing 220 damage. Keep that in mind. Now we have some draw support in the form of a Pheasantipity EX, and other than that, there are, like I said, different variations of this deck. I've seen decks that instead of running 4 Terapagos, they actually run 3, and then they run extra Hoothoots, or I've even seen extra Duskulls and Dusclops. There's a lot of variation you can go with this deck. I've seen decks that don't even, like I said earlier, run the Bouffalants. So it will be up to your choice what you may think is necessary for your deck. But let's move on to the trainer cards, and we'll talk about some other variations I've seen in there. We have 2 Professor's Research, 2 Iono, 1 Thornton. This is really, really impactful because you can use Thornton to get rid of a Fan Rotom in place of a Blood Moon or a Terapagos from your discard. And then we have 1 Boss's Orders, 1 Turo Scenario, 1 Briar. This is going to help you for your Terapagos. When you get a knockout, you're going to get extra prize card. I've done this in a couple games where I've used Briar to get a 3rd prize card for game on things like a Lumineon or a damaged Charizard EX. So this is definitely a very good play that you can do here with the Briar and Terapagos there. We have 4 Nestball because we have a lot of basic Pokemon. Bouffalant, Terapagos, Fan Rotom, Duskull, Hoothoot, Pidgey, Ursaluna, Pheasantipity. So it makes sense to have 4 of these. Ultra Ball, we have 4. I mean, honestly, this is one of the places you could probably cut 1. But we'll talk about it a little bit more later. We have Night Stretchers with 3 of them. 3 Buddy Buddy Palafin, 3 Rare Candies, because the only things we're really evolving are the Duskulls into Dusknoirs. I was going to say Dusclops. Or the Pidgey into Pidgeot EX. And then we have a 1 Hisuian Heavy Ball in case something gets prized, like a Terapagos. The 2nd Bouffalant that we need to have, again, we need to have 2 of these. I don't think I mentioned that. You need to have 2 Bouffalants on the field to use Curly Wall, or to activate Curly Wall, I should say. So this might be helpful, the Hisuian Heavy Ball, to get that 2nd Bouffalant, or maybe just a Fan Rotom to set up your bench. 1 Counter Catcher. Oh man, Custom Catcher, that brings me back. 1 Feather Ball. This is going to be here to grab your Pidgeot EX, and only that. We have a Prime Catcher, a Palpad, 3 Area 0 Underdepths, and 4 Double Turbo Energies for our only energy in this deck. Now, like I said, there are variations of this deck. I've seen people use only 1 Professor's Research, 3 Iono, 2 Boss's Orders, not even having a Turo or a Briar, and then cutting an Ultra Ball or a Buddy Buddy Poffin. There's maybe even the Feather Ball. If you really don't think you'll need this, you can just use Ultra Balls to get your Pidgeot. There's a lot of variation when it comes to it. But there are a few things that stay. Obviously, Rare Candies, Prime Catcher, DTE, Area 0. This changes maybe to 4. This deck has a lot of variation. And the perfect version of it, I think we have maybe a few weeks, honestly. Or even like a month, to like max a month, I think, before people find out what the best version of this deck is. I'm sure people will still try and adjust the trainers, the supporters pretty often, or even the trainers, honestly, as we go into further formats and get newer cards. But for the most part, obviously, at least 3 Terapagos EX. You got to have the Duskull, Dusknoir lines. The Pidgeot EX honestly feels like the best extra draw engine, as opposed to just having Noctowls in this list. Bloodmoon, it's Bloodmoon. It's going to do really good damage late game. And then you're expecting to get knocked out. So Pheasantipity has become pretty much a staple in most decks. But yeah, overall, there's a few things that you can make variations of. Like, again, the Bouffalants you can get rid of. put something else in, and then the supporters and then item cards will have different variations. So yeah, I think this deck is probably gonna be a really top tier deck that we're gonna see going into the rest of this format. And we are going towards the end of the Scarlet and Violet era as we slowly move into what I'm going to assume is still technically Scarlet and Violet, but going into the new trainer cards that we're going to see the following year. That is pretty much going to be the final set where we're going to see trainer cards, the rocket cards, and things like that. But Terapagos, I think, is going to be a huge contender still even in next year. So keep an eye out for Terapagos EX and what the final list is going to be. But this is the list that we played on stream, which is what the gameplay is going to be showcasing. It was a stream that we did earlier last week. So if you want to catch some more streams on Pokemon TCG Live, we do go live Tuesdays or Thursdays for Pokemon TCG Live. Check Twitter for our schedule, of course. And if you like anything else Pokemon related, we do stream at least twice a week. And the second thing is usually something more like video game related. But yeah, today we're going to showcase Terapagos EX. I think probably a really high S tier deck. Okay, so this is usually what you want your bench and field to look like probably 2 to 3 turns into the game. So of course you want to have your active Terapagos EX with at least 1 double turbo energy attached so you can attack with. Of course, Unified Beatdown 7 is ideal, so you can at least be doing the 200 in damage. But if you can bench something else, maybe another Terapagos EX to prepare that as an attacker, or maybe you need a Pheasantipity, or if you need to grab maybe another Duskull or the Bloodmoon already, put those up so you can hit the full damage. But I honestly think I prefer to have another Terapagos EX ready, because the Pheasantipity, it's a basic Pokemon. Its ability will activate when you need it and you bench it anyways. And Bloodmoon Ursaluna is going to be more of a late game attacker anyways. But yeah, you usually want to have at least 1 Duskull in play so you can have it ready for either a Dusknoir or Dusclops play. Fan Rotom, obviously you're going to have that there for, let's say, setting up your bench. Maybe you needed to get the Bouffalants or a Hoothoot or Pidgey that way. You can get 3 Pokemon with this, so a Bouffalant Hoothoot, or a Bouffalant Hoothoot, or some variation of Pokemon with 100 HP or less that are colorless. Other than that, once you do have this bench pretty much set up like this, if you wanted to, you could play Thornton to, I don't know, if you had instead this Terapagos and the discard, you could put that in place of the Fan Rotom. So these would essentially switch, and then the Terapagos would go into the bench instead. And then you can start setting up that Terapagos EX instead, and then you still have the space for like a Pheasantipity or the Bloodmoon Ursaluna. But yeah, this is pretty much what you want your bench to look like. Either Bloodmoon, Fez, honestly. And then at some point using your rare candy to get your Pidgeot EX. Maybe at some point have used the Noctowls, and then having this into probably a Dusknoir, honestly. The 130 damage is more beneficial for a lot of the heavy hitter decks like Charizard EX, Dragapult, opposing Terapagos, Raging Bolt, Regidragos. You usually want to be using Dusknoir instead of Dusclops. But sometimes the math does work out and you do need the Dusclops instead. But yeah, this is what your bench should look like. Of course, that's already been discarded. With at least 1 or 2 Terapagos set up, having used at least 1 or 2 of your Noctowls, having a Pidgeot so you can draw your cards you need, a Dusknoir to do your Curse Blast damage, and then the Bouffalants to help reduce the damage your Terapagos EX take. And then at some point, if you need to, maybe your Terapagos gets knocked out, you put up the other one, now you have your Bloodmoon for late game attacking. Or even maybe for whenever you need it then. But this is pretty much what you want your bench to look like. Honestly, I feel like Terapagos, you should always attack your Terapagos before attacking with your Bloodmoon. Bloodmoon should be saved, again, as a late game attacker. and knocking out things with its 240 damage with no energy requirement if they've taken at least 5 prize cards. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at that gameplay. Before we go on, why not get subscribed? It lets me know that you like this sort of video. And if you are subscribed, thank you so much, but double check because YouTube does unsubscribe people. I do have a project I have to get done for Saturday's stream. In order for Saturday's stream to actually happen, something else has to happen in between then. And it does involve my 3DS and me possibly destroying it. Hopefully it doesn't get destroyed, but you know, for Saturday's stream, hopefully everything goes well. And this is my only new 3DS, so keep that in mind. I don't like starting Bouffalant. I think I'll go Duskull. Also, let me know if this audio's loud or anything. It actually might not even be coming through. I don't think it's coming through. That's fine. I don't care actually, because I hate that TCG Live like goes through and circumvents my audio settings for some reason. I honestly don't know. I've tried to figure it out. Also, it doesn't take my webcam settings either when I'm trying to scan codes. So honestly, I could care less about the audio issues with it. It could just be muted for all I care. Anyways, enough ranting about how bad Pokemon TCG Live is as a product. Let's grab a Terapagos. Terapagos EX, so we can play Area 0. We're going to drop a DTE onto it. Let's drop a Bouffalant, an Iono. Let's see here. Ooh, Buddy Palafin too. We don't have use of the Fan Rotom, really. I mean, we could get it. Let's Nest Ball first again. Wait, is this our first turn? Am I silly? Can I actually play this and I'm just being dumb? No, it is my first turn. I can play it. Or I can thin out my deck by using this one instead. I like that idea more. I do like that idea more. I'm gonna grab actually 2 Noctowls because I can Buddy Palafin for the Hootoots. I just realized I do not have any Pidgeys in deck, which kind of sucks because I do need a Pidgey. I mean, I can do without it, but I would prefer if I had it. Can only have one of these going on at a time, so I'm just gonna do this instead. All right. Grab 2 Hootoots, and just to burn it, we're gonna do this. Actually, no, I'm not gonna burn it. I'm gonna grab another Terapagos. Oh, this is a good setup, though. Very good setup. We're missing spots, but we're fine. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't hear it, but I can hear you better because of it anyways. True. We don't want to hear all the weird, wacky animation effects. Ooh, Palafin. I'm interested. If I remember correctly, Palafin got, I think, 2nd place at a large online tournament recently. Let's see how they handle this. It's from it when it moves to the active to the bench. Okay, so they'll need a switch card to move it back. We'll have to see what they do here then. Oh, I forgot to do this. 1 second. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's not bad. heck is going on? Oh. That was weird. That took a long time to load up. What is it here? That is not what I'm looking for. Where is it? I'm waiting for something to come in. It should be coming into an email. Let me see what's going on. Ah, there it is. Okay, so this is how they get it to evolve then. I forget how much HP it has. I think it has over 300 HP. Right? If I remember correctly, I think it's over 300. Yeah, 340. That's going to be a bit difficult to knock out. And it's not getting knockout immediate on Terapagos, but it is a bit of an issue. I can prime catcher it up, start putting some damage counters onto it. Not opposed to it. But I do want to fill out my bench a bit more. Problem right now is I know there's no Pidgeys. I can bench the other Terapagos. You know what? I'm going to grab the other Duskull too. Let's do that. Bench the Terapagos. We're going to prime catcher. I do need to deal with them, so I'm going to do it now. Put up Terapagos. I could go for a Noctowl. No, I don't want to show my hand now. Honestly, I could have gone for the Noctowl, grabbed a Hisuian Heavy Ball, and then a supporter, put the Pidgey down, and get ready for a Pidgeot EX. That probably should have been my play. But it's okay. We're going to hold on to the Ultra Ball. I think my plan of attack for this match is just focus down the Palafins as soon as possible. They're not doing enough damage for knockout unless you get some other modifiers into play. I'm trying to think what other things he could put up that could damage me more. Okay, well that kind of hurts me. We're getting rid of Fan, a Duskull. You want to get rid of the Terapagos or the other Duskull? Kind of want to keep the other Duskull. Let's get rid of the Terapagos. We still do have 2 Area 0 Underdepths. And again, we're not getting knockout because of Curly Wall here. Now I'm kind of hoping that the next card we draw, we can use to discard for the Ultra Ball, just in case we want the other Bouffalant available to us. Okay. Did you play a supporter this turn? You have not. Okay. I was wondering if they're gonna maybe play Churro Scenario or something. Guess not. A Dusknoir play is possible. Oh, they're gonna set up the other Palafin EX. That's what they're doing right now. I think that's okay. We can get our Dusknoir, put 130 damage counters onto it, and then with our next unified beatdown, we could knock it out if we can get our full bench again. Oh, its ability, its effect. No, wait, what? Take 60 less damage from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon. Oh, one other. I'm silly. I should have kept the other Bouffalant. Or played the other Bouffalant. I don't know how to read. That's my issue. Which is still okay. Because now we can actually get the other Bouffalant up. I think what I'm going to do right now is get rid of the Buddy Palafin to grab, I think maybe Noctowl, so we can thin out some more that way. What can I grab with Noctowl? I can get a Nest Ball. Ooh, I could go for a Dusclops knockout on that Dunsparce so that he doesn't have a lot of draw support. That is one option. Okay. Let's grab Noctowl for now. I can also get Bouffalant with Artisan, I just realized. So that's what I might do instead. Let's grab that. Let's grab that. Because we want to fill up our bench. Actually, you know what? I want to get the Pidgey. That's definitely something that needs to go onto the bench soon. Alright. Let's Artisan first. Grab Bouffalant. Now we have Curly Wall activated. Let's grab Pidgey. I could get Pheasantipity, actually. No. Well, we are getting Knockout on it. No, let's do that. We will have to set up another Terapagos too. Big brain play here. Very big brain play. Cycle the Noctowl. We're gonna grab. Just double checking. I do have it there. Wonderful. And I think I'm gonna get Professor's Research for next turn too. All right, cool. Because if they do knock it out somehow, it would have prevented me from having my full bench like this. I still do need the double turbo energy. Let's take knockout for now. Thank you for the follow, by the way. I will have to do a Briar play, I think, to get win. This is my first time ever seeing someone play this game. Well, welcome to the stream. I know it's not as popular on TikTok, but yeah. I have seen a lot of people playing it on Twitch and YouTube. It's not as popular on TikTok, but you know. Thank you also for the 1,000 likes. And of course we have the discard stuff. Let's get rid of the Noctowl Hoothoot. And this guy. Alright. We still have one more Area 0 Underdepths. So we should be fine. Are there ranks? Yeah, there is. So you start at Pokeball and then move your way up to... Not Pokeball. I actually don't remember what it's called. But I forget what the lowest one is, but it goes into Great, Ultra, and then Master League. Oh, Iono, come on. It's like they knew. It's not that bad. No, it's still kind of bad. Hard retreating into the Palafin EX here. Not knockout, but we are in a bad spot because this Terapagos is not set up right now. And with this bench, I think we're only doing 140? No, 130 damage. That's tough. I don't know. I don't know if we're winning this one. I don't think there's anything we use the Night Stretcher for right now. And I do want to keep the Briar. If I had kept a Hoothoot, I think that would have been ideal. I should have gotten rid of the Duskull, honestly. That was a bad misplay on my part. I could go for a Dusclops here. Knock out the Dunsparce. Yeah, that is definitely the pathway here. Actually, sorry, it's 50. Not, I don't know why I was thinking 60. I guess we knock out Cleffa. Also, easy ban to the bot there. Hoping for a good card here. I know we had the Pheasantipity still, but we didn't get knocked out last turn, so that's not what I want. Oh, that's exactly not what I want. Is it what I want? Not really, no, actually. We're gonna get rid of this and this. There's not much to do here. You know, I probably should have kept that Night Stretcher to grab the Noctowl not Noctowl, the Hoothoot we discarded. Because there's nothing else in here that we really need. Alright, let's worry about that later. Let's set up a Hoothoot. We know this guy's gonna get knocked out, so we can put the Fez up later. Let's just do the damage we can right now. Let's see what he does. Oh, he got it for the Dunsparce. He goes for the Dunsparce. Gets an extra 3. That will probably give him the energy he needs to switch in this guy and attack with it. And that is KO. Okay. We need a double turbo energy for this Terapagos. And what else do we need? Oh, wait a minute. Oh no, they'll be at 1 and shoot. The math doesn't math. Briar only works if he was only taking 1 prize card. But since he's taking 2, we can't use Briar. Yeah. I was thinking maybe we can go with a Briar knockout somehow that way for 3 prize cards with the counter catcher play, but probably not. We could counter catcher this guy back up for the knockout next turn. And then go for either Mew or maybe the Dunsparce afterwards. Alright, this has to be the greatest Pheasantipity. Actually, not yet. Let's first Mezagoza. Hopefully hit heads for thinning the deck. That is not heads. Let's draw our 3 from Flip the Script. That is also kind of helpful, but not exactly what we were looking for. We do get the DTE. We can counter catcher this guy, but we're only doing 130. And I'm guessing he probably has boss for game right now. Let me see if I can do something with the Noctowl here. Do I have anything I want to research into? Not really. I just want to be able to set up more Pokemon onto the bench, so I think definitely Area 0. I could research, actually, into what I need. I think I try and research. There's a quiet... Actually, there's nothing. But there is Night Stretchers, and I could use the Night Stretchers to do that. Okay. Counter Catcher. We'll try it here. There's 1 Night Stretcher. We can get the Pidgeot EX out. Okay. We could also go Bloodmoon later. I'm gonna put back Boss. Don't need Briar. I probably need the Iono. Maybe I should have Iono'd instead. If he has Boss for game, probably. There's a Thornton. Okay. Our other DTE is prized, isn't it? No, wait, I'm silly. It's in my hand. I'm silly. I can't see. But we're not there. We're short 20 damage. We needed 1 more Pokemon. That's unfortunate. I mean, I'm expecting a boss play here for game. That's probably how they win here. I probably should have played an Iono, so they couldn't do that. All right, let's see. Did they get the boss, or did they already have it? Don't know. Is it? I don't. They are taking quite a bit. Kieran for the switch. Okay. Right. But this isn't knockout. Mm-hmm. Hmm. They don't KO Bloodmoon. I really want the Iono. I don't think I have any more counter catchers. Yeah. And I really want that Iono. Just in case. Just in case they have the last card they need. I'm actually honestly not sure how many bosses they play in this list. They have one there. They have 10 cards in hand. They probably would benefit from me Ionoing them. How do we get this guy back, though? I'm thinking of going for the Mew. Because this guy's an easy knockout. I might have misplayed here. I should have probably attacked that one. We'll see how this plays out. Honestly, this is really poorly played. I could literally do something super silly right now if he doesn't get knockout here. We'll see what he does though. If he doesn't have boss, I'm I'm tempted to just use Dusknoir to knock him out. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Night Stretcher, okay. Or is it Night Stretcher for the Mew again? It would have to be the Mew, right? Unless they're trying to set up another Palafin. That would be an interesting one if they're trying to set up a Palafin. They might not have had another boss's orders. I'm pretty sure they could have found a way to beat me there. Oh, I don't know if I want to count that one as a win, but it is a win, I guess. I'll try it out. I mean, I have everything both for in-game and in-person to make a Lost Box Terapagos, I think. And it wouldn't just be Terapagos, obviously it's a Lost Box, so it would involve other Pokemon. Probably a Bloodmoon. Some straight counters to some like decks like Charizard EX or something like that would be good too, I think.
You made it.
Oh, thanks for the raid, Pokédubs. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Welcome, welcome. I don't know how to do shoutouts. Well, welcome to the stream. Let me figure that out real quick. There we go. I'm a streamer. I know how to stream. How's it going? Hopefully, Dubs, you had a great stream. What were you playing today? I caught it in the beginning, but I think you were just maybe... I said you were prepping for Louisville? Are you going to play there? I'm assuming you're playing Lugia. just a pretty good assumption. Terapagos. Yeah, let's set up Terapagos. I don't like getting rid of both Dusclops and Dusknoir now. I could have... Yeah, that's fine. Let's go with the Rotom. Yeah, hopefully you had a great stream. What did you say you were playing? You were playing... Well, I mean, obviously you were playing Pokemon TCG today. But yeah. How were you not following me? It's fine. I don't like pressure people to follow me or anything, even when I'm on streams. I think I have like this one alert that says like use your Twitch Prime if you want to, but that's it. I did not use my Fan Rotom. I'm silly. I can use it to grab Hoothoot. Or sorry, Noctowls. I forget that it has like a visual bug where it just doesn't highlight sometimes. Also, they had a really horrible turn one. Okay, just making sure. I've had Pidgeot prize way too many times this evening. I am comfortable actually putting up Bouffalant. I think Bouffalant's the better play right now. Just set up the one Bouffalant. But I already have this in hand. No. Alright, Terapagos. Let's see here. Slamming some Lugia tonight. Yeah, I figured. I think your stream title was setting up or preparing for Louisville regionals. And I figured you were playing Lugia. It is just right off the cusp of a hot streak over in Europe, right? So, second place with Roll Riddy. But yeah, Terapagos has been fun. I keep misplaying. Every time I've misplayed, it's because I play a Noctowl without a Terra Pokemon in play. The Mind Plush was definitely a W purchase. It is. He's just like, he's covering his face because he doesn't want to see how bad these misplays are. Yeah. This is a fun deck. I have some ideas on how to play this differently. Obviously, dropping Terapagos into a Lost Box because of its weird energy requirement for Crown Opal, but it's a perfect counter to things like Raging Bolt. So I don't know, just a thought. I'm trying to think of ways to really put that into there. The other thing I'm thinking of is just like trying to run it the way creatures intended by using Glass Trumpet. Honestly, I do like the double turbo energy version a lot more, but I understand why they want us to run it with Glass Trumpet. It do be a struggle. So many people have been tweeting about playing Noctowl with no Terra in play, so at least everyone is doing it. Yeah, I think right now, just because it's still early in the format, people are still getting used to it. But yeah, every time I've done a misplay like that, I immediately just concede because I gotta put some what are they, consequences to my mistakes. Immediate consequences. If that's a rank down, it'll so be it. But you know, what do I even have for the Night Stretcher? Oh yeah, one of the Dusknoirs. I will save that for later. Let's grab our Area Zero Underdepths. And do we have the rare candy? We do have the rare candy. We could get a Feather Ball to get the Pidgeot EX as well. Yes, that is a good idea. The downside right now is Hoothoot in the active. And I don't run switch cards. I could grab Turo Scenario. That seems like a waste of a Turo Scenario, though. You know what? We're doing it. We have to, unfortunately. Okay. Turo Scenario. And do we want anything else? Yeah, Buddy Pavin. Let's do some more damage. Oh, we already have a Duskull up, too. I could cycle it and then grab it with a Night Stretcher, too. This is the Terapagos we want to discard. I almost clicked on it by mistake. That would have been bad. Buddy. I don't want to put a Fan Rotom down. I could Ultra Ball. That is an option. I could Thornton this later too, so honestly I'm not opposed to it just for the extra damage right now. Let's do that. Let's do this. Hoothoot. Yes. I think I will. We'll save the Night Stretcher for maybe a Dusclops play. I can still quick search. Just to grab for later. Actually, I haven't attached for a turn, so this is actually better for us. Alright. Damage time. Yeah, I don't... I'm still trying to think what you could put into a Lost Box version of Terapagos in it. Bloodmoon, obviously. Terapagos. Radiant Charizard. Yeah, Radiant Charizard. For an attacker, maybe. Giratina seems like a good idea. Gotta get running right away, unfortunately. Sorry. Hope the rest of the stream goes well. Thank you, no worries. Thank you for this, for the raid, Pokédubs. Thank you so much. Hope you have a wonderful evening, and hopefully I get to catch you on a different stream. Yeah, thank you so much for the raid. Hopefully you have a wonderful rest of your week. If I don't catch you in a stream, you know, or when is Louisville? I'll message you later when it is. But have fun at Louisville whenever it is. I am not going to any regionals, unfortunately, this season. The closest one that would have been for me is Sacramento, but I just can't justify spending almost $1,200 in total for the going to the event and staying there. It just seems way too high of a price. So I'm just going to skip it, unfortunately. But I will try and make NAIC in any capacity I can. Alright, let's turn this into a Dusknoir. I'm going to use this to knock out Pidgeot EX. Get my 2 prize cards. They only have 1 card in hand, so this is a really good knockout. Thank you for the follow, Laters, over on TikTok. But yeah, I'm going to try and go to NAIC and obviously Pokemon Worlds. I've never been to an NAIC, so I would definitely like to go to it. We need to put 1 more down for the extra damage. I want to put down a Bouffalant, but I believe it's prized. Unless, did I mistakenly discard it already? Let's Noctowl first for some cards. What I could also do... Let me grab this real quick. Just to double check. It might be in the prize cards, yeah. So I'm going to get that. I could go for a knockout on the Lumineon. Or I could save that for later. Definitely a good thing to consider. I haven't played supporter, but they have 5, so don't want to do that. I'll grab boss for now. Okay. Grab our Bouffalant. Oh, the Fez is in there too. Pheasantipity is definitely tempting right now. Because then he has 2 Charizard EXs that are instantly knocking out my Terapagos. And I don't like that. So I'm going to do this instead. Threaten this with a knockout. And hopefully we can knock it out. Hopefully it doesn't like Toro it or something. Okay, I know it's perfect actually. And then we can knock this out and knock the Lumineon out for game. We have this one set up. We need to get another one out and set that up too. Yeah, hopefully everyone had a great stream over on Pokédubs' side. He is the hugest Gengar fan I know of. There have been rumors there is one far greater than him, but until I see their collection, his is the largest collection of Gengar I've ever seen. Ooh, the Fez is out. So is the Rotom. Okay, so there's a lot more options for us. This is good. If he evolves into a Charizard EX and switches... Or does that. Okay. Okay, well. I've been advocating in some of my recent videos for lost vacuums. And I am paying the price. Okay. He will use Dusclops to knock out Terapagos. I will have to bench something up. He will take then 2 more. He'll be at 2. I do have the option to play Briar, if that is the case. But that means I need a counter catcher and Briar. This gets me Pheasantipity. I need Briar, Countercatcher, and... Briar, Countercatcher, and... What am I blanking? Area 0 Underdepths. That's all I need. That is a tall order. That is definitely a tall order right now. You know what? I don't even need Countercatcher. I could do with Prime Catcher. Okay, no, actually this makes it a lot easier. Because I just win. Ooh. What do I need? Right now, I'm only doing, what is that, 90 damage? 70 damage. Sorry, I forgot the DTE thing. Okay. Am I wrong here? I just win. This is 130. That puts him at 350. Briar now makes it so I take another knockout from my Terra Pokemon here. So that is game. Oh my gosh. We kind of clutched this. I will say we got very lucky that he did not switch in his Charizard EX. I was not paying attention to his energy counts. Maybe it was that. Maybe that was the issue. Because he didn't attach one to his other Charizard EX. But a win's a win, I guess. Dropping a Professor's Research or the Thornton is not a bad idea for me. Those are probably what I would drop to put in a Colress's Tenacity into this list. Just some ideas for myself, you know. I don't like this start. So you got 3 Iona, 1 Colress, 2 Research, 1 Boss, 1 Briar, and 1 Thornton. Interesting. Okay, so it might be item differences on our parts then. For our lists. Yeah, I think it's item differences. I think that's what probably is. Ooh, the Okie Dokie list. Oh, I'm excited. I love seeing these rogue decks like this. All right, let's see how quickly they can set up. This one runs the Comfey engine, so I'm even more interested. I've seen it with other engines, but not the Comfey one yet. These are going to be some beefy okie dokies. I'm going to... Will I need Briar? Yes, I will need Briar. But I also would need those Area 0 Underdepths and the boss's orders. Alright, let's do that. Terapagos. Area 0 Underdepths. DT goes on there. And now we buddy for Fan Rotom and let me check. Pidgeot in here? Yes. Okay, so we'll go for the Pidgey Hoothoot, actually. I like Hoothoot. I mean, we're going to be grabbing the Pidgey anyways, but I like sequencing it this way instead. You know, Bouffalants might play a big role here. I'll hold off for now, though. Yeah, I think the Bouffalants are going to play a really big role. He's going to be doing 170 damage. Doubled for knockout. Oh, shoot. These Okie Dokies are going to be a problem. I think I want to knock these out as soon as possible. That means I need to have at least 7 Pokemon on the bench. Okay. But these guys need both a 2 fighting energy and a darkness energy attached to them for that effect. Okay, Noctowl. I'm thinking maybe going for a Prime Catcher. Yeah. What do I have? I think I need to get rid of the Briar. Prime Catcher will let us grab one of these Okie Dokies. And I gotta hope the professor's research gives us some good cards to put on the bench. Okay. Prime Catcher up an Okie Dokie. Professor for 7. We got Bouffalant. We got Featherball for Pidgeot. Wonderful, and then we can get the other Bouffalant. We cannot get the other Bouffalant. We can get another Terapagos. Oh man, we got lucky there with that professor's research. Okay. This was a really good professor's research. That is incredible. We have exactly enough for the knockout. I'm also tempted right now to add in the last Pokemon we need. Using the Hisuian Heavy Ball for the Bouffalant. That is prized. So let's do that. That is a wonderful turn. Everything we needed. All set up. We need to get rid of these Okie Dokies. These are definitely a threat to Terapagos. Honestly, I was not expecting this to be the scariest deck we run into today. Okie Dokie. Who would have thunk it? How many do they have now? 3, 4, 5. Did they put this into the active too early? I want to say yes, because they should have put Comphase into the... Oh, okay, sure. I'm assuming they still have 2 more of those. But honestly, putting up Comphase should have been a better idea. That way they can switch cart into the other Comphase for 7 total. Just a thought. How high in the ranking is this? This is Corviknight rank. I think it's just out of Charizard ranking Great League. Okay, that's their 3rd switch cart. Yeah, that was not a good use of switch carts. Definitely should have put Comphase in first. Did they just get rid of a switch card? Okay. Your switch cards are your bread and butter, but sure. Just made it past Charizard. Wonder if you fought me? Maybe. If you ran into my Terapagos list? Possibly. Although Terapagos is a popular archetype right now. Yeah, if they don't have another switch card, they're in a bad spot. Do we have a Boss Swan? No, we discarded it. How do we get it back? Noctowl. Palpad. Pidgeot. Oh, but the Okie Dokie has a darkness energy attached to it now. Oh no. Well, this is why I've been advocating for lost vacuums in every single list. But I don't adhere to my own words of wisdom. What could we do instead? We could grab a rare candy and knock it out that way as well. Put damage counters onto it. Boss it up. Yeah, okay. Let's do that. So we're going to put 130. This is a good spot. As long as we deal with the Okie Dokies, I don't think they can really threaten us. Okay. Alpad, the boss, and Briar, why not? While I'm at it, I'm going to grab back the Duskull for a full bench. Quick search, grab the boss's orders, and then knock out that Okie Dokie. Yeah, as long as we're getting rid of these threats here, we're fine. I think we're good. Waiting for the concede. Yeah, we did just knock out both of his Okie Dokies. And he's used a lot of his switch cards. I'm assuming he still has more switches. He hasn't used any of his what are they called? Mirage Gates? I'm blanking. It's been a while since I played Lost Box. So he could use those and some Night Stretchers. You could even knock us out with some Sableye. That is a possibility because we have a lot of weak Pokemon. You can knock out the Duskull and the Fan Rotom and the Noctowls fairly easily. Especially if he uses a TM Devolution. So there's still ways for him to win. Okay, so doing that, he can grab it back with the Nest Ball, and the Mirage Gate can set it up. I think what we need to get next is an Iono. I think if we get the Iono, we mess him up a bit, because this hand is pretty large. Pekka-Runt, okay. I feel like his deck is doing too much. Unless he's going for the Pekka-Runt poison route here. Welcome back to the stream. Huh. So this will do 10 damage and then 60 on checkup. So total for 70 this current turn. Actually, no damage because of Bouffalant. But 60 still there. Yeah. No damage from the attack is I think what I meant. I kind of have to go with the professor's research, which is not a big deal. We do lose the DTE. Oh wait, does this can't retreat? Wonderful. Did not know that. I did not. So it might have not been you that I faced this evening. This gets me back to Dusknoir. Ooh. I like this. Quite a bit. Let's get rid of Your other attacker? I wonder if they play any water energy for the Radiant Greninja. But this is also a draw support for them. You know, let's limit them. Let's get rid of a Comfey. I think we're still in a good spot. If they're able to knock this out, I do have Briar. Let me set up the other Terapagos real quick. Oh, you are correct. That was my mistake. I totally forgot that's what it does now. You are correct that the Bouffalant does do less damage. That was a misplay on my part. So I should have gotten rid of... Well, no, I still got rid of a Comfey, which ideally is the better choice. Because they have now this, and they would have to use more Super Rods to get more items cards back. Watch out for Jirachis. Oh, the the coin flip one? I'm only getting one tick of poison now that the P.E.K.K.A run has gotten saw. Okay. There's an Okie dokie. They might power this up and knock me out. Which is okay. Or is it? No, this is not good because... Let's get rid of these three. I was thinking of using Briar. But we'll be even on prize cards. I'm assuming he has a Mirage Gate here. If he doesn't have the Mirage Gate... I think we win this. We just can take 2 knockouts here. I'm going to quick search for another Area 0 Underdepths. The last one too. I need to set up some Duskulls. The last one's a DTE, which is fine. Both of my Terapagos are ready. But I need a Duskull in case I need to knock out this Okie dokie. I'm almost tempted not to Iono because he doesn't have what he needs right now. Let's go for the knockout. I don't think I have any more rare candies. Yeah, I have no more rare candies, so I would have to slow evolve this Duskull into a Dusknoir. I would only do 50 damage to him. 50 damage is not enough to knock him out if he attaches a darkness energy. If he doesn't attach a darkness energy, we win. He just used a Super Rod, did he not? It's just a pass. Okay. I mean, good game, I guess. I guess he just didn't have the Mirage Gates he needed. Oh, that was a close one. If it came down to it, I don't think we could knock out that Okie dokie. Well, maybe a Bloodmoon Ursaluna could have done the job with a Dusclops. Yeah, that would have done it. But that was a close one, nonetheless. And so that was Terapagos EX. What did you guys think of it? Honestly, like I said earlier, I think it's an S tier deck. We may not see the final variation for a few more weeks, in all honesty, but I think Dusknoir Terapagos EX is a really high contender for the ideal list. Honestly, Dusknoir has found a really good place in this format, and I think this inclusion of Dusknoir into a lot of different types of decks helps with that extra damage you may need. And Terapagos definitely needs it since it's only hitting 220 damage. But yeah, let me know what you think about it down in the comments. What sort of cards would you add, remove from this list, or what lists have you seen that you think are going to be the final list, or have cards that will be in the final list of the S tier Terapagos EX we're going to go and see moving forward in the format. I honestly think this is going to drop down to 3. We're probably going to keep this to a 3-3 line. I honestly think Pidgeot EX has to stay. The Dusknoir, it has to stay in this list. I don't think Bouffalant's going to stay. Fan Rotom, I think we could probably stay with just 1, but then you run into the chances that it gets prized, so 2 is a good even ground. And then Bloodmoon Ursaluna and Pheasantipity really feel like they're necessary. But as for supporters, I honestly am thinking of dropping Turo, possibly Briar. I was, on the fence on Thornton, but I think Thornton does have a spot in this because we are attacking with basic Pokemon, either Terapagos or the Bloodmoon Ursaluna. So I want to say keep Thornton in here. As for items, you probably don't need the Feather Ball, in all honesty. Of course, you do need the Arizona Underdepths, and because there have been times where you need to grab both the Area Zero Underdepths and Double Turbo Energy in the same turn, I would say maybe even adding a Colress's Tenacity might be a good idea for this list, in lieu of maybe that Professor Turo scenario, or maybe removing a Professor's Research. But just some suggestions and thoughts on this list. I still do think this is an S tier deck, and we're going to see this placed pretty high for a lot more regionals and maybe some ICs. But of course, let me know what you think about this deck down in the comments. And of course, while you're down there, why not get subscribed? We are going to be doing so many more deck lists like this. I'm thinking of even making some more off meta stuff. I did love doing the Metacham, so I'm thinking of doing some maybe Great Tusk Mill and going back and trying that out. I've been also thinking Cloth as an optional deck to try out as well. So if you like any of that content or Pokemon content in general, definitely get subscribed. Anyways guys, as always, stay safe and thanks for watching.